Hey, I'm Zane Metters. I'm with Cyberbackers of the Carolinas, and I'm here with Gretchen Ball. Gretchen, how are you today?
I'm fantastic, Thane. Thank you so much for asking. And thanks for having me today.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Happy to learn about your experience with Cyberbacker. So, just so we can get to know you a little bit better, kind of how long have you been in real estate, and what did you do before you got into real estate?
I just celebrated my 6 year anniversary with Keller Williams probably a week or two ago. So, yeah, I've been in the business for a little bit. And before that, I owned a small business for about 12 years. And then before that, I worked in law enforcement as a communication supervisor. So basically, I was the boss of a team of folks that took 911 calls. So that was
That's awesome.
very energetic, very busy all the time.
I love that. So, on your in Keller Williams, are you solo or you have a team? Tell us about that.
I am a solo agent. I think that works best with my personality personally. And it's something that I really enjoy.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, if you're comfortable sharing with us, kind of what kind of volume in sales did you do last year?
I did around 6.5 million last year, and 18. Yep, 18 deals.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. So what is the name of your cyberbacker?
Her name is Jonalyn.
Jonlyn. That's awesome. So before you hired a cyberbacker, had you ever worked with any kind of virtual assistant before?
I had not, but I knew that I was in desperate need of help.
So what was it that made you decide to hire a cyberbacker?
I don't know if you are familiar with the Keller Williams disc profile, but the S and the C for me is this. I've virtually none. And so, paperwork, compliance things, any kind of organization, it's not my strong suit.
Gotcha. So you knew you needed some sort of leverage to help you close those 6 million in deals.
Absolutely.
How long have you had your cyberbacker?
About a year.
About a year. Awesome. So has hiring a cyberbacker impacted your time, and how has it? Has it been time? What has your cyberbacker done for you?
So because my cyberbacker works 40 hours a week for me, I get that 40 hours a week back. Um, I'm a single parent, and so not having to spend evenings finalizing paperwork, getting things together for compliance, all of those things. I don't have to do that anymore. I have someone that is fantastic that does it for me, that I can trust to hand over those tasks, and then it just allows me to spend a lot more time hanging out with my kiddo.
That's awesome. That's a great use of time, right? It's
Yeah,
much better than doing
absolutely.
files at night.
Right.
How did you decide, which task your cyberbacker would do, and what do you have them focus on?
Originally, when I was kind of going through the process of signing up with Cyberbacker, I just kind of created a list of things that I knew that I wasn't great at, and that I needed help with. Some were, kind of longer term tasks. Some were very immediate, like my command, hot mess. It needed lots and lots of help, making sure everything was organized, all of those things. So just having someone to take over the tasks that I either, didn't feel comfortable or confident enough doing, or didn't really have the bandwidth to learn how to do and then implement myself, was fantastic.
So did you have a challenge, or how did you handle training your cyberbacker to do your tasks for you?
So there was some initial training process that the cyberbackers go through Cyberbacker, which is amazing because they are trained on, command and other KW systems that a lot of us use already. And then they also trained her on my state specific process, which is North Carolina. So that was super, super helpful. She was already trained, and then I just kind of came in and tweaked it to what my specific preferences are. We worked out a buyer checklist, under contract checklist, seller checklist, all of those things. We kind of went through and worked out that process together so that she knows exactly where she needs to be all the time. And she keeps track of the checklist. I can look at it at any time to know exactly where she is in the process and make sure everything's getting done. But we, communicate daily on anything that comes up that's new,
So
that we need to address.
Do you just send texts and emails to each other? Do you do Zoom? How do you communicate?
It's mostly through Zoom. Sometimes we do Zoom chat. Sometimes I Zoom call her from my car. If I'm, running in between appointments and I need to do something and I can't text her, then I'll Zoom call her, and her view, because I'm leave my camera on, is always the roof of my car because I'm setting the phone down somewhere. But it's really any way possible. If I could send her smoke signals while I'm running around doing things, I probably would. But it's mostly through Zoom that we communicate.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if someone's on the fence about hiring a cyberbacker, what would you say to them?
I feel like for me personally, investing in a cyberbacker for myself was the best decision I could have made, mostly because it allows me to have tons of extra free time for myself while also being extremely organized. And it allows me to take on more business because I'm not concentrating on the tasks that I don't want to do or I'm not great with or not quick with. So it's actually allowed me to up my production because I'm not concentrating on the negative things that I hate.
So if I could summarize it, you maximize what you're good at and you leverage what you're not good at.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was all about leverage for me.
So let me ask you one last kind of wrap up question. Are you aware that if you refer someone and that person hires a cyberbacker, that you get a reward for that?
I am, which I think is an amazing thing that Cyberbacker does.
Well, I'd like to just encourage anyone who's watching this that knows you and they've persuaded to hire a cyberbacker, that they would put you down as their referring agent so that you could get that reward and that you could share what's happened with you to other people that you know. So I want to thank you for being a part of the cyberbacker community. Also, just open myself and my partner Rob up if you ever have a question or anything that we could do to help you have a better experience. Just please reach out and let us know.
I absolutely will. Thank you so much.